What's up, y'all? Man, there's nothing like the sound of a peaceful waterfall in the background and fresh cut grass all over your shirt. But I had to get out here before I go to work and get a few shots in with my Northern Mist Whisper. I can't put this bow down, y'all. It's a joy to shoot, and as soon as I get a new string, brace height, and my arrow set up right, it's gonna be a killer. So let's get out here and just shoot a few today, just to get loosened up. Wanted to shoot my recurves a little bit, but I can't put this bow down, and it's just a real beauty to shoot. This I can't get over the way this thing looks. White belly, brown on the back is just, man, what a good looking bow. But let's shoot some arrows and do what we intended to do coming out here. I really wanted to start focusing on my form with this bow. I've been getting a lot of comments, and I've been seeing it. I have a real problem with collapsing on my shot. You know, getting into anchor and starting to fall down into my shot. I need to keep that good back tension and follow through with my shot, because that's going to keep my bow in alignment and everything shooting as straight as possible, especially needed for these hill style bows. So let's start working on that. We're gonna go ahead and address our string here, get our hand on our grip. I'm not gripping this bow hard. I have my palm down on it, and I'm just kind of got my hand resting around this grip here. And I'll pick my spot and draw. And we're gonna focus on keeping that back tension. And right there, that shot was good. I had a little bit of swinging out like I've been talking about with these arrows. Pretty sure most of it's from my grip on the bow, but I'm gonna see. Like I said, I shoot these arrows canted better, but I'm gonna see. Yeah, my arrow is swinging out a little bit. I have a bad wind too, so that's not helping any. Both of those shots were in the kill zone. But I want to make sure this bow is shooting my arrows as straight as possible. I need to make sure that these arrows aren't too weak for this bow. I don't think they are. They're a 50-55 spine, and I'm gonna have to figure out which position this bow likes to shoot these arrows better. I'm gonna shoot this broadhead now. We're gonna, you know, check. My freaking wind's fixing to blow this camera over again. Oh. But let's shoot a broadhead down range and see if we get a straight flying arrow. Alright, so I saw something. I may have to move this knot point around. I saw my arrow, my tail go down, and usually that will cause some erratic arrow flight. Usually it's from it bouncing off the shelf, but right now I think I may have it a little too high in orientation with my riser here. My arrow may be pointing a little bit too down, so it's trying to compensate with the tail low. All right, so I moved my knock point down a little bit. We're gonna, I'm gonna focus, see if that arrow flight gets a little bit better, a little straighter flying arrow. But we gotta maintain this form. So like this, when I draw back, it's pulling. Let me show y'all this. So if I hold my bow straight up and down, when I draw back, it's pulling this arrow. It's pulling this arrow off the shelf. You can see it kind of falling off there. If I keep it slightly canted, everything is pretty perfect. And it also gives me a sight picture to aim with. I'm not much of an aimer, but I usually tend to pick that spot on my target and focus all my efforts on it. But I'm gonna try to use this riser to kind of line my shot up before I shoot and judge with that. So let's see what it does. Little cant. See, my arrow fell off. That's telling me I didn't cant enough. and I have some super erratic flight off of that riser with that arrow. I think I let down, but let's see if we can pull through on this one. I had to lower that knock point once again. Let's see what this does. That was a little bit better flight, but I still am getting a little bit of, seems like I'm getting a little bit of squirrely arrow flight with that arrow. I'm gonna shoot one with the broadhead. This is your field points mean a lot, but your broadheads mean everything. If your broadheads aren't flying right, then there's no point of you going hunting. So make sure your broadheads are flying perfect. Field points are to play with, broadheads are for life. You know, that's what you're taking your game with. So I got a little bit of swing out. I'm pretty sure this wind's not helping, but the broadhead flew pretty well. I'm still not getting a straight flying arrow off this bow. I need to figure out what's going on with it, why this arrow is kicking out. It may be because I'm canting too much, but this is how I want to shoot this bow. That wasn't too bad, but it still wasn't the perfect arrow. All right, I want y'all to stay with me on these next shots. I'm gonna shoot 5 shots. We'll shoot 6 shots since we have 2 field points to shoot from. And I want to watch and see what I'm doing with my bow hand and see if I could get the straightest flying arrow and how I'm positioning my bow to achieve that. So we're gonna start with a almost up and, well, a small cant here. We're gonna start here. So that was a good shot. We got a good double long shot, but the arrow was kind of whipping around. Like I'm saying, it's I think it's having to correct itself. I'm not sure if this arrow is a weak arrow or it's too stiff and hitting that riser. So in my videos, I see a slight bend outward, which shows a weak spine, but I can't really tell off this bow. I'm gonna try to get another close-up shot. We're gonna cant this bow a little more and get down on it. Got some bad wind too, so this isn't helping. Okay, so that arrow definitely kicked up off the riser and went that way. So let's take 2 more shots and see what happens. We're gonna move this knock point up some and see if that helps with this arrow bouncing. I think these arrows might be bouncing off that shelf a little bit. Let's see what this does. Okay, that looked like a better flying arrow there. The way it left the bow, it still went left, but the way it left the bow looked a little bit better than how it's been shooting. All right, y'all watch these arrows. I'm probably gonna try to put these shots in slow motion and we'll see what they're doing coming off this riser. Let's watch this bow and try to stay as solid form as I can. I need to have a straight arrow coming off of here, not one that's whipping around like it is. All right, so my confidence in this bow, I mean, it's there, but I'm not like totally sold on, hey, these arrows are gonna fly perfect every time. It may just be a thing that I'm gonna have to get used to with this style bow, but I know there's things I can do to get rid of this problem. I'm gonna shoot this one, and then we're gonna move the knock point around and see if we get a better flight. All right, so that was a good flying arrow. My one of these arrows definitely came out of the quiver, but I'm looking at a little spot on my deer target. It's a little piece of foam that's sticking up, and it's right in the lung area. So let's focus on that spot and just stare it down and see if we can get close to hitting it. That arrow is coming off that riser there. That was a good flying arrow right there. The arrow, when it came off the bow, it started going to the left. So I've been fighting this dilemma forever. I'm pretty sure that's a weak arrow, but a weak arrow usually will flex around that riser, then recover. So you're looking at your tail is going to be going left, and then it'll recover. So I'm assuming that's going to be a right hit, but not really sure. Y'all may can help me out with that one again, just to refresh my memory and maybe point me in the right direction on if I need to keep shooting a 50-55 spine or go up or down in spine. All right, so we're going to shoot all 4 of my arrows, the broadhead arrows first, and we're going to see what kind of group we get off of this bow. I'm going to shoot everything into that Reinhardt target, focus on the middle, and see what our 4 arrow group looks like. I don't like shooting groups, it's not my style, but just to see how these arrows are flying, we're going to do it. Alright, so that arrow kicked out to the left and then recovered right into the middle of the target. Alright, a little bit to the right there. It went to the left, then went back to the right. Left kick again, right into the middle of the target. All right, left kick again, right in the middle of the target. Let's go check this group out, and y'all let me know after what you saw on that arrow flight what I need to do with this bow. I've noticed I'm getting a lot of I don't know what this contact's from, just my arrow shafts anyway, but it's kind of wearing a good bit here and looks like it might be pushing to the side of this riser. All right, y'all, so this was my group. Broadhead shot here. Broadhead shot, this is a field point shot here. That was a good shot. We got a field point and then a broadhead. So good group here with my Great Northern. It's not pinpoint, you know, like my recurves are, but with these wood arrows, I'm pretty happy. I love shooting this bow, and it's a pretty awesome thing. I wanted to show y'all this though. The wind is blowing pretty bad today. I got a good west wind, and it's causing those wood arrows to whip all over the place. So it might not be a good day to really see what this bow is doing. Like I said though, I'm getting a good wear into my riser here, and I'm thinking it might be those arrows flexing too much into the riser and bouncing off a little bit. All right, let's take a few shots from this angle down at the deer target. Hopefully we can get a good group of these 4 arrows. This is going to be it for today. It's a little hot out here. Yesterday was a little bit better feeling, but I just had to get out here and shoot and get some adjustment on this bow. Alright, so I'm thinking I'm torquing my bow, and that's what's causing this left flight, but I'm not for certain on that. That was a good shot, but I still got that left arrow kick. Shoot these broadheads at the Reinhardt real quick. Tell you what, we'll just shoot them at the deer target. That's a dead deer right there. I noticed that that tail was kind of low. Let's I'm gonna move this knock point up a hair and see what it does. My knock point right now is kind of, I don't know if y'all can see it, it's kind of angled up and might correct this flight of this arrow. That was a pretty good flying arrow right there. We still got that tail kick to the left, so maybe it does need a weaker shaft to bend around this riser. I kind of want to get y'all's opinion on that and see what happens. So y'all let me know. Appreciate y'all watching the video today. This is my Northern Mist Whisper. Awesome bow, 66 inches, 45 at 27, probably about 28 inches at my draw, and what a fun bow to shoot.